Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. If you guys are new to the channel, my name is Evan, and in today's video we will be installing an Android radio from Avin inside of Matt's BMW 335. Now what's really cool about this radio that I'll show you guys in a minute is that it sits above the dashboard or on the dashboard like the newer BMWs do. So I think that's really cool. This is something I really wish I could do in my E46. Unfortunately, no company makes it, but Matt's e93 didn't come with navigation, so his dashboard has nothing there, and you can cut a hole in it and install it. So I'm going to show you guys that radio in a second, but before I do, give this video a huge thumbs up, consider subscribing, and also check out my Amazon affiliate link down below as it helps out the channel at no cost to you. I'll also link this radio and all the accessories if you'd like to purchase it. So taking a look at everything we got, this is the main wiring harness right here. This is to add USB ports. We have all the different antennas, the main harness right here. They even include a knife to cut into the dash, because yes, we're gonna have to cut into the dash. You also get this little template of where you should cut. We also got some extra accessories. Of course, we had to opt for Apple CarPlay. We got a backup camera, which is awesome because this car only has PDC, so the backup camera is integrated into the trunk handle. We have this bracket, some screws, screen protectors, this aux cable because you do need to utilize the aux output on the car. And finally, look at this radio. Look how big this radio is. This radio is huge. It's like, I think 10.25 or 10.3 inches. It's a really big radio. Looks just like the newer style BMW radios that come in any of the F series and G series. So I really like that. And like I said, this radio was sent out from Avin USA. And as you guys know, I have the Avin 4 in my BMW E46, and it is legitimately the best Android radio you can get on the market. So highly recommend this company, and I expect nothing short of greatness for this one that we are about to put in. So we're going to put you guys in a time lapse. We're going to remove the radio and everything to get behind it to install this harness, and then we will show you guys us cutting it and go from there. All right, so we are going to start by removing the radio, the center trim, and we're gonna actually, before we make a cut in the dash, we're gonna test out the radio fully to make sure it's fully functioning, and I suggest you do the same. So we're gonna do a time lapse of taking everything apart.
Oh, you make me wanna talk back to you. Say it like that. If I hate you, then find someone new. Baby, but you know I never will. No, so I choke you down just.
Okay, once everything's apart and you have access to the back of the radio, you see this quad lock connector right here. And if you look right here, you can see there's two fiber optic cables coming off it. We need to actually move those onto the new harness, because what's going to happen is this part of the harness, with it's blank right here, is going to plug into here, and then this part is going to plug back into your factory radio. However, you're missing the fiber optic cables that would go here and here. So all we're going to do is we're going to transfer it from using a little pick. You can stick a little pick in there and pull them out. We're going to transfer these two in the same exact orientation as here. So it looks like black is on the top, green is on the bottom on the outer one, not the inner. So we're going to do that now, and this is setting us up also not just to test it, but we're going to need this for the final installation. So now for testing purposes, we are going to plug this radio back in to the new Avin cable that's right here, and then right here that Matt's holding, we have the cable for the radio, so we can test it out if it works. So I'm gonna plug in the radio, and I'm gonna plug in the old radio that's still needed, and then he's gonna plug in the new Avin head unit. Position one. Show it off. So this is the first boot of the radio. Screen looks, from first impressions, looks really nice. You gotta shut your door, so stop speaking.
Alright, let's boot it into the OS. It is actually pretty smooth. Your door is open.
pretty cool. You saw this dash on Matt's E60 when we installed the Avin radio. That I really like that little interface that it has. The only thing, we did not connect up the audio, so I think we're going to connect up the audio and see how it sounds right now. Alright guys, so we just finished doing our sound test with it outside, and it sounds really good over the CarPlay adapter. Bluetooth isn't as good. One thing that really changed the way the audio sound was the splitter. This included splitter is so you can retain your factory aux cable. Don't use this. I'll be contacting Tommy at Avin to tell him that there may be an issue with this because we've experienced using the splitter before. It doesn't make it sound the best, so I highly recommend getting the CarPlay adapter, and the audio will sound amazing, especially on, Matt has the Logic 7 speakers in his car, and oh my god guys, they sound amazing, especially with this aftermarket unit. So we are now going to put this trim piece back on, lay out the template, and start cutting his dash, so wish us luck. Alright, so we are now going to lay the template out. Matt is peeling off the bottom part of the template, so it's divided into two sections, as you can see. 1, 2. Matt pulled off the bottom one, and he's gonna align it on the actual car. Make sure you put this trim piece back in. You need that back in with your air conditioning controls, so you can see where you're actually lining it up. And I heard, apparently other people are saying that's pretty generous, the actual marking hole that you have to cut. So that is very good that it's pretty generous. And we may put some blue tape down as well, because it doesn't really stick well.
Sticks fine to here, the trim, but not the actual dash. Just because there's some cleaner and actual pollen on there too.
So Matt is right now lining up these two green marks, as you can see right here. And you want to line them up so one line overlaps the other, and this will ensure that you are lining it up correctly, and then you fold it over the actual dash. Over.
Then we cut the red line.
Honestly, when I first saw the template, I was kind of confused, but it's very easy, and I like the design, how you put this one on first, and then you match these up, and then put it on. We are going to tape it down just because it is not sticking. We're just going to use some blue painter's tape to do that, and then we're going to cut it with a very sharp knife. One thing to note is there is this rubbery leather or fake leather that's here, and under is an actual hard plastic, which we're going to probably have to use a Dremel to cut. Side note, if you like Matt's forged carbon trim, he wrapped it on his car. I'll link this down below if you'd like to buy this wrap. It looks pretty cool. I like it. Especially if you had a black interior, this would look really good.
Say sorry. Oh, maybe I'll leave, baby, but you know I never will. No, so I choke you down just like a pill. Oh, you make me wanna talk back to you. Say it like that. If I hate you, then find someone new, baby. But you know I never will. No, so I choke.
Guys, you can see we did the first initial cut, and it came out pretty well. The notches are in it. It's pretty good. And even if you do overcut, the nice thing about this material is that it's so squishy, it kind of like conforms back, and you can't really tell where you made it overcut. But now there's this hard plastic. We got through this initial fake rubbery leather. Now we have to cut this. We tried using just to see a razor blade knife, but that's nowhere near tough enough. We're gonna probably break out the Dremel and run a Dremel around here, so we're gonna do that now.
Choke you down just like a pill. Oh yeah. Take you like a pill. Oh, you make me wanna talk back to you. Say it like that. If I hate you, then find someone new. Baby, but you know I never will. No, so I choke you down just like a pill.
So after fussing around with it for a while, we were able to get it in. We do have to take a little more off here. It's just not sitting, but it's in. Make sure you get there's these back tabs that need to kind of slide into the dash first and then drop the front down. So we're gonna clean it up and then we'll be back once we have it cleaned up. After you have this fully situated how you want it, you are going to have to mount this bracket to it, and there are 6 provided Phillips screws. They're very tiny. There's 3 here and 3 on this side. They're very tiny, so definitely be careful with them. The next thing is you need to install this onto the car. There's a bracket in the back that will bolt up to these 2 holes. We only had 1 screw on ours on the left-hand side. It was a Torx bit. Don't know if it's the same for everyone, but that's how ours were. We are now going to mount up the GPS antenna and the Wi-Fi antenna. We're going to find a good spot for that, and then it plugs in to right here for the GPS and right here under this cap for the Wi-Fi. We finally have all the lines ran. We started running these. This is the USB, and it comes from all the way down here. We ran it all the way back here, and this is the USB cable for CarPlay. We have the aux cable ran here. We have the CarPlay adapter sitting here, and we also have the rest of the harness going up. And now we're going to put the radio back in. All right, so it's now time to install the radio. We're gonna connect everything that we mentioned earlier. So I'm gonna throw you in a time lapse of us doing that now.
Back to you. Say it like that. If I hate you, then find someone new. Baby, but you know I never will. No, so I choke you down just like a pill.
After tidying up all the wires, it was definitely a challenge. It's time to connect the radio back up, and like we mentioned earlier, make sure you have that fiber optic cable going into the actual radio, and you still need the factory antenna to plug it up. So we're gonna do that now.
The worst way. Don't let me sleep. Never say sorry. Oh, maybe I'll leave. Baby, but you know I never will. No. So I choke you down just like a pill.
Alright guys, so we have everything put back together. As you can see, we have the radio fully installed. We routed the aux cable to the center console. We routed the CarPlay adapter up through the center console as well, and have the lightning cable sticking out there in case Matt does want to plug in his phone or use wireless CarPlay. So here's a look at the unit. Guys, I really wish they had this available for the E46, like one that sits up above the dash. I think it looks amazing. It really adds to the car. I think it makes it look so much newer. Check this out. So we click this button. You guys know I love this. I mentioned this in the E60. We have a live dash. I think this animation looks so good. I love the way it looks, especially when you're driving and you can see everything on here. Absolutely awesome. Oh, that's cool. You can even change the colors of it. I did not know you could do that. Super cool. I absolutely love that. Another thing, CarPlay works so well in these head units. So if we click on CarPlay, open it up, and there we are. Look how good it looks. I love how big it is on the screen. I think it really adds to the car. It works so good. Like I mentioned earlier, using the onboard Bluetooth isn't the best through the radio, but if you guys have CarPlay, whether it's through Bluetooth or through hardwire, it works amazing, sounds amazing. It has this really nice, almost NBT Evo look to it, the way with the big squares and everything like that. It looks awesome. Works super well, super fluid. We have all the settings. Another thing to mention, if you want to get into the factory settings, it is 2846, and we're in the factory settings in case you guys have anything to do here. Vehicle stuff you can pick, aux, automatic switching, what controls the switching, pick your door settings, number of doors. You can pick what type of car you have. It's a manual. Pick what the voice key does. This you don't really need to worry about. You can go home, and I don't think this button does anything. Yeah, I don't know what. I think that's if you had the onboard monitor, that's what it would do. Let's see what other apps are on here. There's an built-in EQ. You can integrate your tire pressure monitor sensor. Matt's gonna run his MHD stuff on this head unit, which I think will be amazing. We also, one thing we didn't install today, and there will be another video about, is a backup camera. So stay tuned. We will be installing a backup camera for this radio. And right now, if you put it in reverse, his PDC does work. So I think, I can't put it in reverse right now just because the car's not fully on, so nothing's gonna show, but it does show the reverse camera without the camera and just shows his PDC, and it does work because his car obviously didn't have navigation, so all it did was beep for the PDC. Alright guys, so it's now time to close the video. Our final thoughts on this radio. It's awesome. I will definitely be doing a full review, but I really like the radio. I like the way it mounts. The price is right for the radio. Again, huge shout out to Avin. They've been a huge supporter of the channel and they help us out so much, and I really appreciate their support as well as their product that they make. They truly do have the best aftermarket radio solution for BMWs, and I just love the UI. Their customer support is amazing. So guys, definitely check this radio out down below. I'll also link the one to the E46 because I do have a big E46 following. But that is all I have for today's video. If you guys like this video, give it a huge thumbs up, consider subscribing, and guys, check out my Amazon affiliate link down below as it helps out the channel at no cost to you and allows us to continue doing fun projects. So thank you guys so much, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace out.